Look here in the box, you can see how much it was submerged. Look at that. Oh man, I hate UPS. What is up, my friends? I am back for another statue unboxing and review. This time we are taking a look at this badass diorama right here from the Warhammer 40k series. This is by HMO Collectibles, the Guilliman versus Chaos Space Marine. Sick piece, man. All right, guys, you know the drill. If this is your first time on the channel, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you can stay up to date on all of our content. Look at this thing. Look at this thing right here. This thing is amazing. Really badass looking piece. Give it a little turnaround right here. Man, huge. This thing is a very big statue. I'm doing an unboxing video. Where the hell's the box? Well, the box on this thing is massive. Very, very heavy piece. Very heavy box. So let's go back in time and I'm going to show you the whole process. All right, there you can see is the box. And just like in true UPS form, it's a little rough. And it sat outside. You can see it got some water damage in there and everything. I am hoping that that I got good luck with this when I take it out of the box. A little worried because there is like some kind of oil or water damage. Feels like oil, but it's kind of slippery. Look here in the box, you can see how much it was submerged. Look at that. Oh man, I hate UPS. So you can see the instructions were halfway out of the bag. Doesn't feel like there's any damage to it. Shows you all the instructions on how to put it together. All right, so here's layer one. Got the body. I'm really digging that everything's taped down, so I like that. Make sure everything is secure. Let's go ahead and see what's up with layer two. All right, so here's layer two. And you got more backpack, got the base, obviously, the big flaming sword. Had one piece that was just left out right here like this, and you know, oh well, that happens. All right, so here's the base, and this has got some weight to it, but man, the detail is nice. All right, and then we got the backpack. The detail is outstanding. I love the colors. It looks very functional. Kind of reminds me of a Ghostbuster backpack. The flaming sword of Odin. This book bag's got vertebrae in it. Eesh, that had to hurt. Look at the detail in this arm. I love that shoulder pad with the double eagle heads and everything. The gold and the blue. Looks beautiful. Look at this grizzly face. This guy needs a dental plan. Damn, that's a big ass arm. Somebody needs to lay off the internet. A halo. Might and glory. Damn, this thing has some nice details. Okay, we got an arm holding a gun. That skull on the gun looks dope. All right, here's the other arm with the skull on the shoulder pad, looking like the Punisher. Damn, that thing's dope. All right, here we got the first portrait. I really like that wreath around the helmet. Looks really neat. All right, and here we got the second portrait. My God, it looks just like the guy from the damn game. Woo! They did a nice job on this. Look at this body. Oh, it's dope in the skulls. This is awesome. Look at this body, man. Holy moly. that's it. That's what it took to put this thing together. A long time, almost an hour and a half of assembly between unboxing it, and thank God the statue came in perfect shape after the delivery from UPS, because I don't even know what they put that thing in. That smell that liquid was on the box, it smelled like oil. So that's really, really weird for it to be submersed in that kind of oil, or maybe just absorbed it, whatever it was sitting in. So thankfully it all came in one piece, so I'm happy about that. So Warhammer 40k. I'm a Star Wars collector. So where does this fit into all that? So as a kid, I used to actually paint these figures. Warhammer 40k, if you guys aren't familiar with it, is a tabletop battle game, right? So they have like these little figures that you get, and they come unpainted, and then you can paint them up and everything. And then you have like this war game that they have that you can do with your friends. They have them at the comic book stores where people get together and they play the game. I've never actually played the game. I only used to paint the little figures because it fulfilled my little art feelings that I had, and I had to let my artistic abilities let out somehow. So it was a cheap way for me to engage in that kind of thing. And I liked the figures. I thought they were cool. They were very interesting, especially with all the armor on the Space Marines and then the monsters that they fight, the aliens. So that is how I got involved with the idea of Warhammer 40k. And then when I saw that HMO Collectibles was going to be putting one of these things out, I was pretty impressed by it. I was like, Jesus Christ, this thing is sick. So had to see this thing in person. Yeah, man, it does not disappoint whatsoever. This thing is those little figures times 3,000, man. I mean, the detail that they put in this thing is utterly fantastic. So I know most of you guys on this channel, most of you guys really like Marvel and DC comic characters, and I appreciate that you guys come and watch some of my Star Wars stuff, so that's cool. I really, really appreciate that, because I love Star Wars. So I'm gonna get you hip onto at least what this is all about. So where does the 40k universe start? Here we go. All right, so in the distant future, mankind has taken to the stars and colonized many planets in the galaxy. In this time, they're very superstitious, and they believed in demons and gods, and they had a lot of fear of all this stuff. It was like the dark ages of technology. So during this time, they encountered many alien races that were hostile to them, and then the internal corrupt officials and rulers were just brutalizing the people. So it was really bad times for the human race as they took to space and colonizing planets. Now, during this time, a single man who would come to be known as the Emperor of mankind would come forth. The Emperor was larger, wiser, and had some mystical powers, so people believed him to be a god. So the Emperor would lead a band of warriors created from his own genes, known as the Thunder Warriors, to combat the alien forces and bring the galaxy together under a unified coalition known as the Imperium of Man. Now, under this rule, the Emperor would denounce religions and the belief in demons and gods to further the advancement of technology and prosperity. To help maintain peace and order, the Emperor created 20 super beings that were imbued with more of his genes than the average Thunder Warrior had, and he called these guys the Primarchs. Now, before they could even bring the Primarchs to life, Chaos Demons intervened and warped these beings away and scattered them across the galaxy. Now, Roboute Guilliman was one of these Primarchs, and he was taken away from his father. His capsule crash-landed on a world called Macragge. Now, Macragge is a planet that kind of resembles ancient Greece and Rome in its architecture, the attire that people wore, and their politics. Guilliman was found and brought to its warlord, Connor. Now, Connor adopted the boy and named him Roboute, which means the Great One. Roboute grew abnormally fast and showed that he had an above-normal prowess in politics and combat, and above all else, he was very charismatic and beloved by the people. Through Roboute's leadership, Macragge flourished. When word reached the Emperor of Macragge's prosperity and that a large human that made this happen was there, he knew that he had found one of his sons. It would take the Emperor 5 years to reach Macragge, but finally Guilliman was reunited with his true father. Upon meeting the Emperor, Roboute swore fealty to his father and was given charge of the 13th Legion, which he renamed the Ultramarines. Under his command, the Ultramarines were renowned and became exemplars of what it meant to be a Space Marine. Once all of the Primarchs were finally reunited, the first and the greatest of all the brothers, Horus, became corrupted and turned half of the Primarchs against the Emperor. Guilliman would not be swayed and fought loyally with the Emperor and the remaining Primarchs against the traitors. Although Guilliman did everything in his power to reach the Emperor in time, he was too late. Horus and the Emperor would kill each other in battle. This would be one of Guilliman's greatest regrets. Following these events, Guilliman and his Ultramarines hunted down the remaining traitors. They met the Emperor's Children Traitor Legion at the Battle of Thesla. I don't know if that's pronouncing right, but that's the way I'm seeing it written anyway. Where his corrupt brother, Fulgrim, would deal a mortal wound and slit Guilliman's throat. The Ultramarines were forced to retreat, and they quickly put their beloved commander in a stasis on the throne on the Temple of Correction in Macragge. Now, there Guilliman would wait for 10 millennia to be resurrected, and around him the galaxy descended into chaos and fear. It wasn't until Chaos forces attacked Macragge that several heroes resurrected Guilliman to aid in their struggle. And that brings us to what we're seeing right here in this diorama and what they have it set up. So Guilliman right here has just been resurrected. He's descending the throne steps. That's what I'm assuming this is. And what happens there in the first part of the battle is that when he actually gets resurrected, everybody goes silent. So they're all like in awe that this guy is alive, right? That he's back from the dead. And what ends up happening is a Chaos Marine sees this and is like, well, fuck it, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna take the first blow. So he comes charging at him, and then Guilliman strikes this guy and he goes flying across the room and slams into a wall. So that's basically what you're seeing happen right here, which is really dope. The flaming sword that he has right here is actually the weapon of his father, the Emperor. So he wielded this at that point, and it was really, really awesome the way they describe it in the story. The way they depict it here, I think, is pretty spot on. Really awesome art, the way that HMO decided to put this all together. And you have a swap out head. So in the artwork that I've seen that accompanies the story, he's actually doesn't have the helmet on. He's more like that, So you have an optional head like that. But I really like the Space Marine helmet. It's really cool. All right, so if you're looking to pick this thing up, you're gonna need some space to put this thing in your collection display. I don't think this is gonna be something that's very easily put in a Besta, just judging by just the overall look of this thing. He's about 21 inches wide, and then in depth he's about 21 inches deep almost, and then it stands about 27 inches to 28 inches tall. So you're gonna need some serious space for this. And it's got some weight to it also. The box weighed like 70 something pounds, I think, if I remember correctly, when I was doing the unboxing. So it does have a considerable amount of weight. This is like a centerpiece, especially for a Warhammer collector. Now, it's a really fantastic art the way they do this, because the Prime 1 Studios did some Warhammer pieces, and they look really good as well. They're very big statues, and they focus on the character. So they did a Space Marine, and then they did Angelos, I think was the guy they did, and look very amazing pieces. I love those statues as well. But this here depicts what Warhammer is, right? It's war. So I like that you have a story being told right here, and I think that's what makes this guy here stand out. Really amazing paint job all the way through. I mean, there's all kinds of shades and wearing and all kinds of stuff like that. Very clean paint job, really like the way that was done. These sanded areas here feel like real sand, that they probably just glued there. So I mean, that's really cool. So it makes it look like the throne room had been left undisturbed for 10 millennia. So that's kind of, so dust and stuff like that would have formed everything. Love how this actually really looks like marble on the steps and all that. So I think that's cool. So really nice work all the way through with all that. There are a few points here that I want to point out for you guys as far as things to think about or things to be concerned and worry about, because I actually broke the statue putting it together. So the statue came intact, it was all fine. There's one very weak point right over here where the gun clip meets this part here of the book bag. So there's a slot, and then the slot is thinly sculpted. Look, I mean, you can look how thin this is. Okay, so that's one of the flaps, right? And then there's a big block that sits inside of here, and at least on mine, it didn't fit, totally correctly. And when I went to go push it in, it cracked. And I didn't really apply that much force. So that's something that you want to be concerned about with this piece. The Ultramarine, or the Chaos Marine right here, he sits with a nice long peg in the step, so you can see he's not moving. So this thing is really, really sturdy. So that's very well engineered. Guilliman himself, also very, very sturdy. He ain't moving anywhere. In all, I am really very, very happy with this. I can't be more excited about the way this came out. I mean, they paid this very good tribute. I mean, you know, especially for Warhammer fans that have for years, man, this thing's been going on for 25 plus years now, Warhammer. I mean, it's been up for a very long time, since I was a little kid. So, you know, we're used to seeing these figures very small. That, you know, they're not big figures, and now you have this massive display here. It just brings it to life. This is a really well done statue, so very, very good. Kudos to you guys at HMO Collectibles for making this thing up. They have another one that's coming out here pretty soon. I think it's already up for pre-order, so definitely check out the site to go check out more of this Warhammer stuff that they have going on. Awesome work, guys. So I'm curious to hear what you guys think about this piece. Let me know in the comments below. And until next time, guys, keep it marvelous.